So, are you planning on going to Kuwait, or are you already living or in Kuwait and you're wondering which Kuwaiti SIM card is the best? Well, in today's video I will tell you all about SIM cards in Kuwait, and at the end I will tell you which SIM card is the best. So let's get started. Hi, it's Ooredoo from Phone Service here, and today we will be talking about buying a SIM card in Kuwait. If you're an avid follower of this channel, that you know that local SIM cards are much cheaper than roaming with your provider. In almost every case, like 99.9% of the cases, getting local SIM cards is cheaper. In some cases, like very tiny, so tiny that you cannot even see the difference between this empty space, then roaming with your provider is the better option. But in Kuwait, you should better get a local SIM card because the speeds are incredible, the data allowances are also incredible, and it's just overall affordable as well. But before I can tell you which operator is the best, we first need to be aware of the operator situation here in Kuwait. Then I have to tell you about what the operators offer, and then we can eventually determine which one is the best. So in Kuwait we have three operators. We have Ooredoo, Zain and STC. STC stands for Saudi Telecom. If you're wondering, well, what about Viva? Viva used to be a brand that was active until the end of 2019. Then STC bought Viva and it has been rebranded to STC. So if you have been reading articles about Viva, that's the old name of the brand, it's now STC, so just to be aware of that. As I mentioned earlier, the speeds are incredible here in Kuwait, and that's because the country is linked to 7 submarine cables, and I'm not sure how many cables a normal country has. I know it's 1 or 2, and if you are on the coast it's a bit more, but Kuwait has a lot, which means that you can get a lot of data, high speeds for affordable prices. And I have to stress this because it's so amazing. I find it so incredible. I wish more operators around the world were like this, more countries around the world, but at least Kuwait has a special thing that it's somewhat affordable, whereas Kuwait itself can be quite an expensive destination to visit. But that's enough phrasing, let's talk more about the operators. And all these operators, they have 2G, 3G, 4G LTE networks. I know some of them are planning to start rolling out 5G, but there are no concrete plans yet. But maybe in the future, and if you are watching this video in 2021, 5G may already be there, so yeah, that's something to be aware of. So now I'm gonna talk about these operators individually, starting with Zain, then Ooredoo, then STC, and then we will talk about which one is the best. So let's get started with Zain. Zain was Kuwait's first operator, and the Zain brand has been active and popular within the Middle East a lot. They were also quite active in Africa, but nowadays they have been pulling out, or they have been rebranding themselves from Zain to a different name. But they are, if you're in the Middle East, or if you have been to all the Middle Eastern countries, then the Zain brand is already well known to you. Zain prepaid SIM cards are called Easy, if pronounced correctly, probably just easy as how you say easy, but I'm not 100% sure. They are sold for $5 Kuwaiti, and you can get recharge cards from 1.5 Kuwaiti all the way up to 25 Kuwaiti. So recharging, you can buy these cards in many stores throughout Kuwait, so you don't have to worry about that. Then Zain has a lot of monthly packages that can be added, and I will just go to them quickly. For $5 Kuwaiti you will get 10 GB of data. For $8 Kuwaiti you will get 50 GB of data. Look how that crazy jump from 10 to 50. That's crazy for just a difference of $3 Kuwaiti. But let's just continue. For $9 Kuwaiti you get 50 GB of data and unlimited on-net calls. And if you're wondering what on-net means, that means that if you call to another Zain number, that's considered on-net. But let's say if you would call to an Ooredoo Kuwait number, then that will be considered off-net. So that's the great difference between those two. For $9.5 Kuwaiti you will get 10 GB of data, unlimited on-net calls and 25 international minutes. For $11.5 Kuwaiti you get 50 GB of data, unlimited on-net calls and 25 unlimited minutes. For $12 Kuwaiti you get 10 GB of data, 14 Kuwaiti, 10 GB of data, unlimited on-net calls, and 500 off-net calls, or local minutes if you want to refer it like that. For 16 Kuwaiti you get 200 GB of data and unlimited on-net calls. 19 Kuwaiti, 400 GB of data and unlimited calls, which is for all domestic calls, so on-net, off-net. And 90 Kuwaiti, 400 GB of data, unlimited on-net calls, and 25 international minutes. Incredible data allowances, incredible. In fact, I'm not sure what I would do with 400, unless I'm living there, constantly and using my broadband. No, I use my mobile phone as a hotspot and not use broadband at all. but that's a lot of data. And if you feel like, well, I just want to get data and I don't need any minutes, you also have these two options. You can get a data only SIM card for $7 Kuwaiti, which comes with 60 GB of data for 30 days. But if that's not enough, you can top it up with $3 Kuwaiti with 15 GB of data. So that's Zain. Let's talk about Ooredoo Kuwait. And Ooredoo is Kuwait's second operator, so they entered the market as the second after Zain. And the company itself, so the Ooredoo company, is from Qatar. And just like Zain, they're active in the Middle East. But Ooredoo is also active in other places in Asia and also mainly in Northern Africa as well. So they have a large footprint in the world. And one thing that's quite funny with Ooredoo is that their speed and coverage is on par as Zain, but they don't have that many customers. Why that is? Probably because, well, they entered the market after Zain, so that's probably the case. But an Ooredoo SIM card is called Express, which can be bought for $5 Kuwaiti. And the $5 Kuwaiti is also in credit, meaning that you can use it for calls, texting and pay-as-you-go data usage, which you shouldn't do, very expensive. And that credit has to be used within 30 days. Recharge cards are sold for $1.5 Kuwaiti all the way up to 25 in many stores throughout Kuwait, so you don't have to worry about that either. There are 3 monthly combo packs you can add to your SIM card, which are $5 Kuwaiti, 10 GB of data and 100 minutes, $8 Kuwaiti, 25 GB of data and 150 minutes, $12 Kuwaiti, 50 GB, unlimited on net minutes and 300 off net minutes, $18 Kuwaiti, 200 GB of data and unlimited minutes for all operators. And if you've used all your data before the month is over, you can buy 15 GB of data for an additional $3 Kuwaiti. Just like with Zain, Ooredoo also has a data only SIM card, which is called Express Internet. It's sold for $7 Kuwaiti, comes with 30 GB of data that can be used for 30 days. And for an additional $3 Kuwaiti, you will get another 15 GB to be used. So that's Ooredoo. Now let's talk about STC Kuwait. And STC Kuwait, they are, well, the latest entry to the Kuwaiti market, even when they were called Viva. And they are still the smallest operator, but they have been getting a lot of customers because they have an aggressive pricing strategy. In fact, they are the cheapest here in Kuwait, so that's something to keep in mind. But the issue is that even though they are the cheapest, their coverage is not on par compared to Ooredoo and Zain together, which have, I would almost say, excellent coverage throughout in the country. And STC, they are good / great coverage, but not excellent. So yeah, just below. And the STC SIM card is called Airalo, and you can buy it for $5 Kuwaiti in STC stores. And when you activate your SIM card, you'll get $5 Kuwaiti in credit to be used for calling, texting, and pay-as-you-go data usage. Top-up vouchers are sold between $1.5 Kuwaiti up to $20 Kuwaiti, and they are sold in many places throughout the country. And STC offers the following 4 monthly packs: $5 Kuwaiti, 5 GB of data and 100 minutes, $8 Kuwaiti, 25 GB and 150 minutes, $12 Kuwaiti, 50 GB and 300 minutes, and $18 Kuwaiti, 200 GB and unlimited minutes. So your selection is not that large, but they are still extremely large data allowances. Just like with the other operators, you can get a data only SIM card, which is called prepaid internet with STC. For $7 Kuwaiti, you get 30 GB of data for 30 days. And for an additional $3 Kuwaiti, you will get 15 GB of data more to be used. So which SIM card is the best in Kuwait? There are actually 2 options. I would say both Zain and Ooredoo, they are the best. Why? Because they have the best coverage and best speeds, and they are almost the same. Of course, sometimes the one is a bit faster than the other depending on the place you are, and coverage is basically on par with both of them. And STC is a good option because they are cheaper, but they can be unreliable on times, mainly because the coverage is not that great, and just because you often experience more dropouts or speeds that go from very high to very low at the same location for no reason. So I would mainly recommend Zain and Ooredoo. Those are your best options. And if you really need to save money, consider STC. So those are the best SIM cards for Kuwait. And if you're wondering, well, what about other places? I also have a lot of videos and articles about Kuwait as well. And if you want to have more up-to-date information about the packages, because packages change in pricing and the allowances, make sure to check out my guide, phonetravelers.com/Kuwait-guide, and there you will have all the packages, and if there are updates, then it's on there. If there are major updates, then I'll make a new video, but if they're small, then you can see it on the site. So before going to Kuwait or before buying a SIM card, head to that page, or post, and you'll get the most up-to-date packages. And if you're interested in traveling around the world and you want to know the best SIM cards all over the place, I have a lot of guides on my site, phonetravis.com, but I also have an Excel sheet where you get the best SIM card or SIM cards depending on the country in one nice Excel sheet for over 230 destinations, all for free as long as you sign up for my newsletter. So if you head to phonetravis.com/newsletter and you sign up for that, for the newsletter, you'll get this Excel sheet absolutely for free. And yeah, I update it once a month, so every month I will send you an update, and then you get the best SIM cards all over the world. But of course, check out my blog if you want to have more information about these, particularly in the destinations. But if you go to my blog, you will get much more detailed information about the telecom situation in a particular country. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and comment down below which operator you think is the best. If you're already living in Kuwait, tell us what your experiences are or have been. And if you're planning on Kuwait, tell me which one you are going with. I know that I was a good fan of STC and Ooredoo. Not STC, Zain and Ooredoo. STC was okay. I was mainly staying in the city, so it was okay, but I've heard stories that if you go outside the cities, it will be meh. And now subscribe to this channel, Phone to a Risk, where I do this type of guides more often. But I also do SIM card reviews and talking about everything related to traveling with your phone on the channel. I do the same on my blog, phonetravis.com, but then in written form, of course. And I also talk about buying local SIM cards, international SIM cards, mobile hotspots, and roaming with your provider, because it doesn't always have to be super expensive, and just everything related to traveling with your phone. That's it for today, and I shall see you the next time. Bye bye.